Pallavi, what would I define about that wonderful lady? How I don't know how to define her. Put it under a box is not possible.
Just in case if you're having a bad day, but a conversation with Pallavi would just help and get you out of that zone and back into that energy. Okay, let's do it.
He's able to see the end goal in bright neon lights, while for us it's difficult to conceive how we'll go from A to B.
My name is Pallavi Srivastava and I'm the co-founder of ProcCap. ProcCap is an inclusive financial technology company that is working to empower the last mile retailers in India. So I come from a family of bankers and engineers. As I was growing up, I grew up across small towns in UP, and though we had modest means, but my parents made sure that even though we were growing up in small towns, our worldview was open. So me and my two brothers, we could see some kind of inequalities, especially in small towns between boys and girls. We went through the same training. My brothers are equally good at cooking, and I'm equally good at riding a bike, which is something which I saw was, slightly unusual compared to a lot of family that I saw. So after my MBA, I joined one of the largest conglomerates as part of their leadership program. Through a turn of events, I landed up at the World Bank Group's private sector arm, that is IFC. I was traveling into remote regions of India and South Asia and Africa, and I could see this wide MSME financing gap waiting to be disrupted. I found the answer closer home. Himanshu was working with Standard Chartered Bank then, and he spoke about his work with supply chain finance. And I started thinking around to create a product that could serve the retailer financing gap. What we provide is, a credit card kind of a product to a retailer, where via a mobile app, they can choose to buy product from a distributor. We pay upfront on behalf of the retailer to the distributor, and then the retailer pays us back when he realizes sale in the market. In the process of providing credit, wherein we not only become a credit provider, but we are also using our technology platform, our mobile app, also streamlining and digitizing the way the brands, distributors, and retailers interact. What really matters, personally to me as I go and meet these customers on the ground is when they talk about stories around how they really navigated one of the largest crises in human history, and they could come out of it winning and continue to scale their businesses. When customers tell us about a certain kind of product that they could not stock earlier but are able to sell it and do it with their power of their own financing and not relying on somebody else, that's impact for me.
Please, a huge round of applause for all of you, the remote team. What a fantastic start to the season. Absolutely brilliant.
While we were fairly convinced about the idea, the gap was quite apparent to us. We were filled with doubts around whether we could make it work at scale. Both Himanshu and I do not have a background in business. We come from service class families. So the biggest question was whether we'll be able to make it successful. We also had a small child, and there was too many questions around whether this is the right timing. But the more overpowering question was, if not now, then when? And that's when we started to really deep dive into it. Though I had created a big support system to manage Mish being at home, and our business was not a technology business that could be run out of metro cities, so we had to be really deep into the markets in tier 2, tier 3 towns of India. Both Himanshu and I had to travel, and with all the support ecosystem that I had built, there were days that it was plain hard because especially when she was sick or there was no help at home, and there were things that we just couldn't manage, and we would just hope that we could get by.
What she had done, I don't think I would have had those guts to actually do it at that point in time. Trust me, it isn't simple as all. And I'm talking about as a woman. I'm talking about as a mother. It's not easy.
We did face a lot of rejections. I mean, if I just talk about the fundraise journey, we faced rejections because of not having a technology co-founder to begin with, or maybe because we were married, and there were not enough examples of married couples starting companies that had got funding and scale at that point in time. We do have now. Each of these helped us to become better, to bridge in those gaps through other ways, navigate our way around, and find solutions as to how we can next time become better and perform better. There were times when we had run out of all the money that we had that we could use, so all our funds were exhausted, and that became a very, very challenging period. My brother came forward. He supported a bit. He could manage to pay us some money to really pay off the salaries, and being a person who's always been a bit shy of asking for help, it was hard, right? I had to really peel off the layers and become vulnerable and ask for help.
24. 1, 2, 3, 4.
As a company, we put a lot of emphasis on physical and mental well-being of people. We start the day with the stretching and exercises. We put a lot of emphasis on being mindful. We have created a silence room which is completely soundproofed, so people can go back from the floor if they are feeling stressed out. They want some peace of mind that puts them into a calm state of mind. We all at the end are human beings and not human doings. So I don't get to see my daughter much during the weekday. I send her off to school in the morning before I go out for my run. But in the evening when I get back, during the day I make sure that she's meaningfully engaged, she's into her classes and, doing things around in a way that she's focused into learning something. I focus more on quality time than quantity because, obviously I don't have that choice. I personally, have a lot of hobbies and interests that I want to pursue. My quest for learning has taken me to climb the Mount Everest base camp, do a 10-day silent meditation, become a yoga instructor, learn and become an advanced diploma holder in Spanish language. And now I'm learning, musical instrument along with my daughter. And I just want to make sure that, as I'm also building the business, there's a part of me that doesn't get lost. Something goes well, I said great. But if something doesn't go, I say how fascinating, let's figure a way out here. And that's something which I feel is my superpower.